Most fear is a picture in your head, not a fact in front of you. I'll prove it and hand you 6 ways to end the picture and touch the real. By the end, you'll know what to do the moment thoughts race. In this video, I give you 6 powerful ways to stop overthinking. You learn a 2-breath reset, a 1-word focus, a test to sort weak thoughts from strong ones, and a simple rule that turns thought into motion. You'll leave with a short plan you can keep on busy days and a 2-minute rescue when the mind runs. You know this. The mind starts to race, the chest gets tight, and you sit still while the day passes. I don't accept that life. I calm the body, I choose one point, I cut the weak thought, and I take the first step. I do it the same way every time. It works when I'm tired. It works when I am afraid. I'll show you how. Here's how we'll move. First, I'll show you how to quiet the body so the mind listens. Then, I'll give you a 1-word focus that stops the spin. Next, I'll break the picture with a fast test rope or snake. After that, we'll turn thought into action in 5 seconds. We'll close by guarding inputs and widening the heart so the calm holds. And near the end, I'll share a 2-minute rescue that saves any bad moment. Don't miss that part. I promised you 6 ways to stop the storm, and I start with the switch most people miss, because here's something that might feel backwards at first. When the body is loud, the mind obeys the body. When the body is steady, the mind obeys me. Picture 2 mornings in the same room. One person wakes, curls in, scrolls, breath goes short, shoulders climb, and thoughts begin to race like horses without reins. The other sits up, plants both feet, lifts the chest, softens the jaw, breathes slow, and the same horses fall into step. The difference? They know this truth. Calm the nerves first, the mind follows. Why does this matter? If I start tight, I pay a hidden tax all day small. Breath, fast pulse, quick fear, slow work. Overthinking breeds in that tightness. But when I steady the frame and lengthen the breath, the storm drops in seconds. Work feels possible. Choices get simple. That's the win I want you to feel right now, in your seat, not in your head. What do I do? Plain, human, no gear. I set body straight and breath slow. Feet down, chest up, jaw soft. That's the seat. Then 2 rounds through the nose. 4 in, divided by 6 out. Smooth and even. On each exhale, I name the feel just 1 word. Here. Shoulders drop. Heart listens. This is not a ritual for perfect people. It's a tool for real mornings. How do I run it so it sticks under stress? Do it with me now. Sit tall like a charioteer who's taken the reins. Let the shoulders fall from the ears, unclench the teeth, tongue rests. Inhale 2, 3, 4, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, inhale 2, 3, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whisper here. Notice that tiny space that opens behind the eyes. That's your lamp in a windless place. When the wind, the breath is low, the flame, attention, stands straight. If a thought bangs on the door, I don't argue. I keep the reins, feet grounded, chest lifted, jaw soft. 1 more long exhale. Here. Now. Micro story for your pocket. I once tried to think my way out of a spiral while I was hunched over a screen. It got worse. Then I stood up, widened the chest, ran 2 long exhales, and the choice I'd been wrestling with turned into a simple next step. No miracle, just nerves obeying breath. The body is the hallway. The mind walks where the body points. Objections. I don't have time. You have 2 breaths. That's 20 seconds. I am stiff in the morning. Make the seat gentler, sit at the bed's edge, hands on thighs, tiny chin lift. The rule is comfort with dignity. I feel silly. Good. Your nervous system does not care how you feel about the tool. It cares how you breathe. Here's my pocket script. Say it, then do it. Feet down, chest up, jaw soft, 4 in, 6 out, here. That's the whole move. Use it before calls, before study, before you open a door that scares you. If the mind spikes at noon, I run it again. Returns are reps, and reps build strength. Now that the wind is low, I point the flame at one spot. I'll show you how to carry one word on the breath, so attention gathers and the spin stops. Now that the wind is low, I point the flame at one spot, because here's something most people completely miss when they try to stop overthinking by thinking harder. I don't quiet the mind by adding more thoughts. I quiet it by holding one thing so simply that the rest runs out of room. Picture 2 people in the same minute. One skims 3 apps, skates across 10 ideas, and calls the blur being informed. The other sits tall, rides one word on the breath for 60 seconds, and watches the noise fall like dust in a still room. Same life, different handle. The difference is this: one word gathers attention. Why does this matter right now? Because a mind without a point is a lantern with a cracked glass. Wind gets in, flame flickers, work feels unsafe, and fear grows pictures on the wall. But a mind with a point is a lens that sets paper on fire. Warm, bright, useful. Get it wrong and you'll spend the hour in circles. Get it right and in 1 minute you'll feel space behind the eyes and strength in the chest. What do I do? Plain and human. I carry a name. I choose one lifting word, peace, courage, or truth, and I place it on the exhale like a small boat on a quiet river. I don't chant to impress myself. I repeat to hold a point. I let returns be gentle. Every return is a rep. Reps build control. How? Step by step, so my body can run it under pressure. I take the seat, we set feet down, chest up, jaw soft. I inhale 4 through the nose. On the long 6 count exhale, I let the last beat carry the word, peace or courage or truth, barely, a whisper, maybe only in the mind. I do this for 10 breaths, about a minute. If a thought bangs on the door, I don't argue. I smile once, I come back to the word on the out-breath, because returns are reps. If my eyes want help, I let them soften toward a spot on the floor. If my hands want help, I touch thumb to forefinger to give the mind a small anchor. At the end of the minute, I sit, 1 extra exhale, and feel the lampstand straighter. A quick picture to keep you honest when you're tired. Scattered rays warm your skin, focused rays burn through rope. Your word is the glass, your breath is the Sunday. And a tiny story once, between meetings, I stood in a noisy hall and rode courage on 3 long exhales. The next hard call took half the will it would have taken 5 minutes earlier. No magic, just a point that the mind could trust. Objections? I don't have a holy word. Good, pick a virtue you respect. I'm in public. Run it silent. Nobody sees a breath. I forget. Put the word as your phone lock screen. When your thumb wakes the glass, your word wakes you. That's powerful enough on its own, but I won't stop at focus. Once attention gathers, I must test the thought that shouts loudest and break the false picture before it breeds more noise. Focus is set. Now I ask, rope or snake? Focus is set, the word is steady. So now I test the thought that shouts loudest. Because here's something most people completely miss when the mind spins fast and paints the worst. The fear isn't the room, it's the picture. And what I'm about to share might feel almost too direct, but direct is what works. There are 2 kinds of moments right now. One where I act on facts, and one where I wrestle with films in my head. The difference? I ask one clean question and bring the lamp close. Why does this matter? Because if I chase the picture, I will drain an hour and move an inch. I'll rehearse disaster, tighten my chest, and call it being prepared, then hate myself for not starting. But if I break the picture, I get the hour back, the chest opens, and the task shrinks from mountain to step. This is the hinge on which a whole day turns. What do? I run the rope snake test in 3 fast moves. I ask, what's real in the room right now? I speak one line of reality out loud, my task is, and I touch the task for 30-60 seconds so the hand corrects the head. That's it. No debate, no speech, just lamp to wall. How do I do it under pressure? Watch me. Feel me do it. I sit or stand tall, breathe 4 in, 6 out once, and I look around like a witness chair, screen, pen, list, that is the room. I name the truth. My task is, write the first sentence of the email. Then I put fingertip to keys and type any true first line, even clumsy, even small, and I keep the fingertip moving for 30 seconds. By second 15, the fear film starts to fade because the hand is reporting new facts to the brain. If the task is a call, I read my exact first sentence off a card. I'm ready to begin. I have one clear question, and I dial before the picture grows teeth. If the task is physical, I touch one object that belongs to the task plate to sink, shoe to foot, folder to desk, and let touch break the spell. Bodies don't argue, they do, and doing edits the picture. Small pattern break, so you remember. My brain is a gifted filmmaker on a free budget. If I don't give it a script, it will shoot a horror short. The rope snake test is me turning on the lights and seeing the coiled rope on the floor, not a viper on the wall. Objections? But what if the fear is real? Good facts first, then act. If the deadline is close, the fact will push your hands, not freeze your spine. And if the fear is only a fog, the first touch clears it. What if I can't think of the perfect first line? You don't need perfect. You need present type. This matters. Because, and finish the sentence, you can edit later, you cannot edit blank. Quick micro story. I once sat staring at a proposal like it would bite. Rope, snake, lamp close. My task is outline 3 bullets. 30 seconds in, I had 1 bullet. 90 seconds in, I had 3. The fear film rolled credits without applause. Would you keep watching now? Yes, because breaking the picture is powerful on its own, but it gets 10 times stronger when I move before the mind rebuilds the set. Picture cleared, now I count down and take the first inch in 5 seconds. Picture cleared, good now. I move before the mind rebuilds the set. Because here's something most people completely miss in the quiet just after clarity. If I hesitate, the old film starts rolling again. The props slide back onto the stage, and I'm right where I began, only more tired. But if I act inside 5 seconds, I turn the key while the lock is still warm, and the door opens without a fight. Why does this matter? Getting it wrong means I'll spend the next hour adjusting chairs, sharpening pencils, arranging tabs, promising myself I'll start at the top of the hour, and the hour arrives already empty. Getting it right means I convert light into heat right now, so motion carries me and I don't have to carry myself. What do? I use a tiny kit that never fails. I say, here's the next inch. I count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I begin. Then I stack 3 60-second starts, 1 honest minute, 1 breath, 1 honest minute, 1 breath, 1 honest minute, and by the 3rd minute, the river has me. How do I run it under pressure so it works in a noisy kitchen, a crowded office, or a shaking heart? Watch the rhythm. I lift the chest once, breathe 4 in, 6 out to set the beat, and I speak low and plain so my body hears the order. Here's the next inch type, the first line. or dial and read the first sentence, or put the plate in the sink. I don't decorate it. I count down out loud or in the mind, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I touch the task before the mind can bargain. A minute later, I breathe, smile once, and do a second minute. If the inch still feels big, I split it again until it's almost silly. Because silly gets done, type the title, pull the folder, tie one shoe done produces heat, heat produces courage. Picture this hinge so you never forget. A door hinge is small and hidden, but when it moves a finger's width, a heavy door swings by design. I don't shove the whole door with my shoulder. I move the hinge and walk through. Quick micro story. I stared at a blank page for 20 minutes and felt the spin start up. Next inch, write one true line. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Typed, this matters because 3 minutes later, I had a paragraph and a calmer pulse. No magic, just hinge first, door next. Objections? What if I stall at 1? Then I stand and step once, bodies obey steps, and put a hand on the tool, pen to paper, finger to dial, shoe to foot, contact breaks bells. What if I need to plan? Make planning the inch on purpose 60 seconds to list 3 moves. Breathe, 60 seconds to pick one, breathe. 60 seconds to begin it. Now planning serves action, not stalls it. That's powerful on its own. But to keep the gain, I must guard the door of the mind and keep only what makes me taller. Motion is here. Now I keep the strong and drop the drain. Motion is here good. So now I keep only what makes me taller. Because here's something most people completely miss the moment they start moving well. One weak input can walk through a careless door, steal the hour from the middle, and leave me wondering why my chest feels small again, while one strong thought held for a minute can lift the whole room. So I'm going to run a simple test that never lies, and what I'm about to say might feel almost too plain, yet plain is what holds under pressure. I picture 2 workers at the same desk, both with the same task and the same clock. One lets every ping in, checks numbers, checks faces, checks weather, checks feelings, and shrinks a little with each check. The other pauses at the door of the mind and asks one fast question, strong or drain? And if it's drain, they swap it for a strong twin and return to the inch in hand. By noon, one is busy and thin, the other is steady and done. The difference is this. I sort thoughts like a doorman, not a doormat. Why does this matter right now? Because getting this wrong means I pour clean power into holes I dug for myself. I end the day tired without weight, and the mind learns that noise can push me around. Getting it right means I leave the day heavier with trust. I finish one real thing, and I sleep without the buzzing that eats tomorrow. So what do I do? Plain, human, immediate. I use the door test. When a thought, link, or urge knocks, I check my body first. Tall or small? If I feel taller, it's strong. If I cave in even a little, it's drain. Then I swap drain for a strong twin. I've already chosen finish one. Numbers at 4, mood follows action, craft first, crowd later, and I return to the next inch without a speech. And I guard the first 30 minutes of the morning like a gate. No feeds, no numbers, no crowd. Because the baker at dawn doesn't open the shop and ask the street what to bake. She measures, needs, and watches the heat. Craft first, crowd later. How do I run this in the wild when the room is loud and the urge is loudest? I catch the knock, I lift the chest once, I breathe 4 in, 6 out, and I ask quietly, strong or drain? My body answers faster than my story. If drain, I smile once, I speak the twin, finish one. And I put my hand back on the tool, pen to paper, finger to dial, plate to sink. If the urge is numbers, I promise them a window later, 5 minutes at 4 p.m., and I keep that promise. So the crowd learns its place. If I stumble and let the crowd in, I don't curse the leak. I repair within 10 minutes, 2 long exhales, 1 strong twin, 60 seconds of the real task, and I mark a dot. Repair beats remorse every time. Quick picture to glue this to your nerves. My mind is a world-class DJ who loves to play the worst song on repeat. The door test is me changing the track with 1 button labeled strong, and the room changes with it. And a tiny story right before a deadline, I felt the itch to check numbers. I caught the knock. I asked tall or small. The shoulders had already climbed. So I swapped to finish 1, wrote the next paragraph, and when I finally checked at 4 p.m., the numbers were kinder because the craft was real. Would you keep watching now? Yes, because sorting thoughts keeps the head clear. But to make effort light and durable, I must widen the heart with 1 small act that breaks the self-loop and feeds the flame. The head is clear now. I widen the heart so effort stays light. Head is clear good now. I widen the heart so effort stays light. Because here's something most people completely miss when they finally get the mind to obey and the hands to move. If I don't open the heart, discipline turns dry. And when it turns dry, it cracks. And through those cracks, the old spin creeps back. So I do the simple, living thing that melts the tight self and gives me air. I serve once before noon, and I color the morning with quick gratitude and clean company. And this might sound soft until you feel what it does to your chest. Because when love rises, the small I shrinks. And when the small I shrinks, the mind stops circling itself. Why does this matter right now? Getting it wrong means I push all day with a clenched jaw. I take every bump personally. I start counting slights. And by evening I am strong on paper and sour in spirit. And sour minds overthink. Getting it right means I move like a river, with both banks head, heart and work. Feels like freedom, not penance. What do I do, plain and human? I pick 1 small act of good before noon feed. Teach, help, quiet, specific, done. I add 30 seconds of gratitude that names 3 real gifts. Clean water, warm light, a friend's voice. And I choose holy company, or be alone for a few minutes, read a noble line, sit with 1 uplifting name, or keep silence rather than take in low noise. That's it, small and strong. How do I run it so it holds on busy days? I set it the night before, 1 name on a card, 1 person to serve, 1 tiny act ready in a sentence. I will send a thank you voice note. I will carry a spare breakfast to the guard. I will answer 1 student's question with care. And in the morning, after my first inch, I do it before the world gets loud. If I am broke on time or money, I serve with attention. I look a cashier in the eyes and thank them. I tidy a shared sink. I send 1 message that lifts. I share 1 line that help me service is not a price tag. It's a posture. I glue this with pictures you won't forget. Think of ice in the sea. As long as it stays a lump, it bangs the shore and calls the world hard. Slide it into warmer water, and it melts into the whole and moves with tides larger than itself. 1 act of service is that warmer water. It melts the hard edge that argues with everything. Think of a temple bell. You don't have to strike it hard to fill the courtyard. A true light strike rings far. Your 1 act is that strike. Objections? I don't know whom to serve. Pick the nearest human in your day's path and give them 1 clean minute of help. I feel fake when I do gratitude. Good name facts, not feelings. I have water, I have work, I have a body that moves. The facts don't flinch. I'm surrounded by noise. Then keep holy company or be alone. 1 page of high truth or 1 minute of silence beats 10 minutes of complaint. Here is my pocket script, so you can move without speeches. Serve 1 before noon. Name 3 gifts. Keep noble company or keep quiet. Run it for 7 mornings and mark 7 dots. By the 3rd dot, your jaw will sit lower and your work will feel lighter. And lighter work lasts. That's powerful enough to change a week. And now you have all 6. Calm the body, hold one word, break the picture, move in 5 seconds, keep the strong, and serve once. So I'll seal it with a fast close and hand you a 2-minute rescue. You can run the moment the storm returns. You have the 6. I'll seal it now and I'll give you the rescue. I brought you from storm to stillness and from stillness to motion. So now I seal it in one breath and hand you the rescue. You can run the moment the mind starts to spin again. Because this is the line I live by, and I want you to feel it in your bones. I act on the real, not the picture. And when I forget, I return in 2 minutes. Not tomorrow, not later, now. Watch how simply it works in any room under any weight. I lift my chest like a banner, I set my feet, I soften the jaw, and I breathe 4 in, 6 out twice until the wind inside lowers. On the second long exhale, I place my word, peace or courage or truth, and I let it ride the breath like a bell. Then I bring the lamp close and I ask the clean question, what's real in the room right now? I answer in one short line, my task is, and I touch the task for 10 seconds so the hand corrects the head before the old film can roll back in. I say, here's the next inch. I count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I begin. 1 honest minute, 1 breath. 1 honest minute, 1 breath. 1 honest minute. And when the 3 minutes close, I exhale and say offered, so the fruit doesn't cling to me. That is the rescue. That is the hinge. That is how I stop overthinking when it tries to take the hour. And if I slip, I don't write a speech. I don't beg the day to be kinder. I run the rescue again and mark 1 dot so trust has a place to live. Soften voice. Say it with me once so your body hears it and obeys. I act on the real, not the picture. Again, steadier. I act on the real, not the picture. Good. For 7 days, run 1 method in the morning and 1 at noon. 2 breaths, 1 word, rope or snake, 5-second inch, door test, serve once any 2, every day. And mark a dot for each. Dots become days, days become calm, calm becomes strength. And if you want a snap-on drill you can use before any hard task, I'll give you a tiny turn in the exhale. Most people miss that locks focus on command and makes your voice sure in under 2 minutes. Want that edge? Curious how 1 breath change can flip your state in seconds? Then click the next video, the 2-minute focus control on command. Start it tonight while your will is warm and your hands are still on the wheel.